guys, welcome back to Rock Fabulous 40s, and today I want to talk about something that's a little near and dear to my heart, and that is skincare. And the reason why I say it's near and dear to my heart is because my whole entire life, ever since, well, as far back as really I can remember, I've always had really, really bad acne problems. And my acne was not the type of acne where it would just cover my entire face, and it wasn't the kind where I'd just have whiteheads everywhere. I would get big, humongous cystic acne, but I would only get them in a couple of spots, but they would blow up and they would be huge. And then my problem is I have to pick. I'm a picker. So when I have an acne spot, the first thing that I want to do is I want to try to pop it. And then, you know, those big cystic acne, those big cystic pimples, they don't pop when you squeeze them. So then I'll dig at it, and I'll dig at it, and I'll keep trying to pop it, and then I'll dig at it, and dig at it, and dig at it more. This has been an ongoing thing since, like I said, as far back as I can remember. Even to this day, I still catch myself picking at my acne. I mean, I'm 40-something. I'm in my 40s. And I'm still getting cystic acne, and I'm still digging and picking at it. And then it turns into these big, humongous sores all over my face. As a matter of fact, I've got one that's healing up that's over here on the side of my face, and one that's healing up that's down here on my chin. You can't really see them right now because I cover it with concealer. But because they're healing, I mean, it's going to leave a big scar there, but it's not like an open pimple. It's not like a big open sore anymore like it used to be. And it's all because I can't keep my hands away. And I've been seeing a dermatologist now, and I've seen dermatologists in the past. And back when I was a teenager and in my early 20s, dermatologists were like absolutely no help for me. They'd say, oh, okay, well, wash your face with Dove soap, and here's some Clindamycin tea, and here's an oral antibiotic, take that, and that will get rid of, you know, the problems you're having with your breakouts. Well, my problem is my breakouts weren't, like I said, they weren't all over my face. They weren't just pits and pockets and zits just everywhere. It was, I almost feel like they were strategically planned cystic zits that would pop up just mainly right here on my cheeks and on my chin. I never really got any on my forehead, but it was mainly just all jawline, cheeks, and chin right here. And so the things that those dermatologists did for me in the past never helped, because they would say, well, this is great if you have a lot of acne. Well, that wasn't my issue. It wasn't a lot. It was just big, and it happened a lot, and I would pick at it, and because I'd pick at it, it would get infected, and then it would take so long to heal that by the time that one healed, another one would pop up. And it was like just a never-ending cycle. So none of the stuff that they ever gave to me ever worked. And then I had one doctor that said, well, just quit picking at it. Okay, well, I can't just quit picking at it. There's just something in my genes that tells me I have to pick at stuff. So instead of me quitting picking at pimples that I get on my face, just do something so I'm not getting all the pimples on my face. So I'm not getting that cystic acne, because I get that acne, I want to squeeze it and pop it and pick it, and I can't keep my hands away from my face. So when I was in my 30s, when I was in my late 20s, early 30s, Proactive had come out, and I decided to give it a go. And Proactive was still pretty new at the time, and I went ahead and I purchased the starter kit, and I did the cleanser and the toner, and then I did the treatment that you put on after the toner. And just like they said on TV, within 2 weeks, boy, the stuff, I mean, it cleared up. I didn't have any cystic acne for a good 3-4 years. And I'm talking not a one at all. Well, then they reformulated the Proactive. And in them reformulating, my face started breaking out again. And not only now was it breaking out, but now because I was getting a little bit older, the breakouts were also big cystic acne, but then I was getting dry skin as well, and I was starting to, you know, see the fine lines and the wrinkles starting to set in. So I thought the Proactive is not working anymore. It can't be good for my aging skin. So I need to figure out something else. So I quit using the Proactive. The moment I quit using the Proactive, I am not even kidding, within a week, my face looked worse than it ever had my entire life. Instead of just having the one little cystic acne spot here or there, I became pits and pockets all over my face. I mean, it was bad. I'd have 5, 6, 10, 15 of them all at one time, and it was just horrible. And here I am just picking and can't keep my hands away from my face. It would so occupy my life doing all this picking. And this went on while I tried, this went on several more years while I tried different products here and there, and nothing ever worked. So about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, in my 40s, I actually started seeing a different dermatologist, and this dermatologist, I really, really liked her a lot, and she really, really went out of her way to try to help me figure out how to get rid of all the cystic acne that I was getting. And she never once told me to stop picking. I mean, she actually said, she actually looked at it one day and she says, I can tell you've been picking at that, haven't you? And I said, yeah, I can't help it. She says, I understand, I get it. I said, well, if it wasn't there, I wouldn't pick at it. She says, I get it. She says, I pick too. It's human nature. We tend to do that. So what she did for me was, and we tried a couple of different things until we found what worked, and I'm finally on the regimen that actually works. I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing here in just a minute. But we started with just going with some straight antibiotic just to see what would happen. And, of course, the antibiotic didn't work, so she upped the level of the antibiotic. That didn't work. Then we went on to taking the antibiotic. I was on minocycline and using Epiduo. Now, Epiduo is a mix of benzoyl peroxide and a drug called Adapalene, and it is prescription only. And that actually did work for a little while. Now, it made my skin feel like hell while I was using it. The first 2 weeks I was on it, I was dry and cracky and just absolutely miserable. So she had me actually cleansing my face with Cetaphil cleanser, and then doing the Adapalene or the Epiduo on top of that, and that was it. No moisturizer, no nothing. That was it. And like I said, for 2 weeks, it hurt. It hurt to smile. It hurt to make any kind of facial expressions. But after that 2 weeks went by, the dryness just cleared up. The cracking just stopped. And I didn't have any more issues with any more acne spots. Then, I would say probably 6 months in, they started coming back. So they cleared up for a while, then they started coming back. So I was at the point to where I was actually pulling my hair out, and now I think we're finally on to something that's actually working for me now. And so now my skincare routine, and I still have a couple of spots now that are healing up, but those are the first 2 spots that I've had in months and months and months, and I'm okay with that. They're healing up, and I haven't gotten any more spots since these have been healing. So what she's done now is she has put me on a prescription that's called Spironolactone. And I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard of Spironolactone, but it is a prescription drug it's a diuretic is what it is. And it's also what they call what is it called? I can't think of the word for it, but it traps the potassium in your body as well. And they give it to blood pressure patients, and it's supposed to help regulate, I guess, their blood pressure. It also, one of the things that I found out about it as I was reading about it, is it also kind of, how can I word it? I don't want to say it blocks the testosterone in your body, because it doesn't really block your testosterone. You have a hormone in your body that's very similar to testosterone, and I can't off the top of my head remember what the name of it is, but it's very, very similar to that. And it actually tends to block some of that particular hormone. And, as I started reading some more and some more into what this drug was about, I started realizing, this might be exactly what I need, because a lot of what I was reading was saying, okay, not only does this help with acne, but it also helps with people whose hair is falling out, because my hair was falling out in clumps and clumps and clumps and clumps. I could take a shower and do like this, and my hair would just come out in just handfuls, just clumps. And So as I started reading more and more about this drug, come to find out that when a woman's testosterone level is a little bit too high, and I mean it can just be a minute, teeny tiny little bit, that acne is a big symptom of that, and also hair falling out, because it kind of follows that, you know, male pattern baldness kind of thing, and testosterone is a male hormone. So the spironolactone, since I've been on that, has kind of put it in check a little bit. So I've been using the spironolactone. My hair's not been falling out. My hair's actually been growing, and it's just absolutely amazing. My face hasn't been breaking out near as much. So that's the first thing that I'm doing. I'm taking 100 milligrams of spironolactone every day, and then let's start with daytime. In the daytime, I will cleanse my face with this Origins, I know it's almost empty, my Origins Checks and Balance, I can't even say it, Checks and Balances foam cleanser, and this stuff takes off everything. I mean, I'm talking my face is squeaky, squeaky clean after I get done using this, but not dry and tight, but definitely clean. I can rinse the soap off, and my face is literally just like squeaky. I mean, it's freaking amazing stuff. It's not cheap though, but I love it. So I'll cleanse with this, and then in the morning, the first thing that I'll do is I'll put on another prescription topical. It's called Acayna, and what the Acayna does, or what it is a combination of, if I can say this, Clindamycin and benzoyl peroxide. So it's an antibiotic with benzoyl peroxide in it, and I'm no longer taking an oral antibiotic, so I'm actually just doing it as a topical with the benzoyl peroxide. And after I cleanse and I do my Acayna, I let that sink in for a little bit, and then I'll go in with my Clinique Smart Repair Serum, this stuff, which actually has been helping with some of the dark patchiness that I have on my skin. After this dries, then I go in with my moisturizer, and during the daytime I don't wear just a regular moisturizer. I'll wear either, and I don't have it right here, but I'll wear the Clinique Dramatically Different Gel. It's the yellow one, not the yellow cream one, but the yellow gel one. It's a newer one. I really like that. Or I'll just use my Bare Republic with SPF 30. I actually tried this from an Ipsy bag once and fell in love with it, so I went to Target and purchased it. This is an SPF of 30, and it's really lightweight, but it does have an oil in it. I can shake it up, and it does have a very oily, I don't want to say oily, it is kind of, I mean, it does have maybe a little bit of an oily texture, but it's not a mineral oil. So you put it on and you spread it out, and it acts as your moisturizer as well. I don't remember which oil is in this, but it doesn't cause me to break out at all, and it doesn't feel greasy, and it just sinks right in. So I put on the sunscreen. After I do the sunscreen, I'll go in with my Clinique Repairwear Laser Focus Eye Cream, and then once that dries, I'll go in with my Origins GinZing Eye Cream to get rid of any bags under my eyes. This stuff is freaking amazing. So that's my daytime routine. My nighttime routine is very similar. I use my Checks and Balances to cleanse, but instead of using the Acayna, I now use prescription strength Differen Gel, which is Adapalene. Now the difference between the Differen and what I was talking about earlier, the Epiduo, because the Epiduo gel is benzoyl peroxide with Adapalene in it. This separates it. So I've got the benzoyl peroxide in the morning and then the Adapalene in the Differen Gel at night. And by using them in this sequence, I didn't have any problems with any dryness, cracking. My skin doesn't flake. I mean, it didn't hurt. I had no discomfort. So this particular combination was just amazing. So in the evening before bed, I'll do the cleanse, the Differen Gel, and then I'll go in with my Clinique Smart Repair Serum, and then I'll do my Repairwear Laser Focus Eye Cream. I don't do the GinZing at night, but if I need a little bit more moisture because I'm not doing the sunscreen, after all that sets in and dries, I'll go back over it with either my Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Gel, again the yellow gel, or I'll use the Clinique Moisture Surge Intense for bedtime. It is oil-free, but if you're really, really dry, this is a really, really awesome moisturizer for night. And then, once a week, only once a week, I'll use my Glam Glow Youth Serum Mud. or my Glam Glow Youth Mud. I do this once a week. I'll put it on, usually Sunday night, let it set for 10 minutes. I'll exfoliate it off, rinse it off, and then I'll go in with my regular nighttime routine. This, guys, actually really seems to be working for me. I've been really, really happy with this. I've not noticed any dryness, any flaking, any patchiness. Like I said, I have had one or two little breakouts, but one or two pimples come up that were kind of cystic, but they're almost gone, and I haven't had any others pop up since. And I've been using this particular regimen now going on about a year. So maybe a little less than a year. So this stuff has just been freaking amazing. And I'm going to continue to stick with this particular regimen until it no longer works, and then I'll go on to something else. And when I do, I will let you guys know. So I hope that all this information, and I know that this was a lot of information to take in, but I'm hoping that at least some of this information was somewhat helpful or useful to you. If you have any questions about any of the products that I've talked about, whether it be, you know, the Origins products or the Clinique products or even the Spironolactone or the Differen or Acayna gel, if you guys have any questions about any of those products, please leave comments down below. I mean, I'm not a medical professional at all, but I can at least give you guys my experiences and what I know about those particular prescriptions. So, like I said, if you guys have any questions at all, please leave comments down below. I hope you guys found this video helpful or at least somewhat useful. If you did, please subscribe, and you too can rock your fabulous 40s. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.